All right, let's get into it. There is this really strange new corner of the internet that's just kind of bubbling up. And honestly, it is filled with some of the most bizarre, surreal, and just downright weird stuff you've probably ever seen. But underneath all that absurdity, a totally new kind of business is starting to take shape.
I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're scrolling, and then one of these videos pops up, and you just stop and think, what did I just watch? They're kind of dreamlike, right? Sometimes a little glitchy, and they don't follow any normal rules of, storytelling. And that's exactly why they work. They totally grab your attention by being completely and utterly unexpected.
So that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. Is this all just random internet noise, or is there a real, genuine side hustle, maybe even a full-blown business hiding inside all this weirdness? Well, the answer is a pretty resounding yes, and we're about to break down exactly how it all works.
First things first, we got to put a name to what we're actually seeing here. And the term that's really starting to stick is AI slop. Now, I know it doesn't sound very glamorous, but it actually captures the essence of this whole new content wave perfectly.
So what is it really? Well, AI slop is basically content that's made with artificial intelligence, and it's intentionally surprising, uncanny, or just bizarre. The key thing to get here is that it looks low effort, but that's the whole point. That's what gets the insane engagement. The unpolished kind of absurd nature of it all, that's not a bug, it is the main feature.
And how are people even making this stuff? Well, the toolkit is surprisingly simple and accessible to pretty much anyone. We're talking about tools you've heard of, like ChatGPT for coming up with scripts or ideas, different AI video and image generators, and voice synthesis tools to create those strange narrations. Honestly, the low cost and the speed of these tools are what makes this entire business model even possible.
Okay, so let's get to the core of it and see how this all builds into an actual business. How in the world do creators turn these strange videos into actual income? Well, it's all about flipping the traditional way of making content completely on its head.
And I mean, the difference is it's night and day. The old way, it required super expensive gear, a whole team, and sometimes weeks of work just for one polished video. But with the AI slop model, all you really need is a laptop and some clever prompts. You can literally go from an idea to a finished video in minutes, which allows for an incredibly high volume of posts. So, how does the money actually start to flow in? Well, it starts with the stuff you'd expect. Ad revenue from platforms like TikTok and YouTube. And as an audience starts to grow, brand sponsorships can follow. But the model gets really innovative with something called prompt drops and commissioned work. And this right here, this is probably the most unique part of the whole business. Instead of just selling the final video, creators are selling the recipe, the exact text prompts they used to generate their viral hit. It is an absolutely ingenious way to monetize the creative process itself, not just the final outcome. Okay, so let's say you're intrigued. You're sitting there thinking, maybe I could try this. Well, this next section is your practical guide. Basically a starter kit for anyone who wants to experiment in the weird and wonderful world of AI slop. So here it is, your 6-step playbook. It all starts with mastering prompt crafting. That's going to be your core skill. Then you pick your short-form video platform, you post a lot, and you watch your analytics like a hawk to see what actually connects with people. Once you get a hit, you can start monetizing with things like prompt packs, and of course use trending tags and sounds to get discovered.
I absolutely love this metaphor because it just sets your expectations perfectly. You have to treat this whole thing like you're mining. Most of what you post is probably going to get very little attention. That's okay. You're not looking for steady, small returns. You are searching for that one big piece of gold. That one video that just goes totally viral and opens up all the doors to monetization.
And look, this isn't just some theoretical idea. Just imagine a creator anywhere in the world, let's say Dar es Salaam. They start mixing local culture and Swahili prompts into their AI creations. Then, one of their uniquely surreal videos just blows up. All of a sudden, they've got ad revenue coming in, and now they can package and sell that successful prompt pack to other people. It becomes a real legitimate side income stream.
Now hold on, it is not all viral hits and easy money. Like with any new frontier, there are some very real risks and downsides that you absolutely have to be aware of before you jump in. It's so crucial to have a balanced view of this.
Here are the 4 big pitfalls you gotta watch out for. First, copyright. AI models are trained on existing data, so you could accidentally end up infringing on someone's work. Second, platforms might just change their rules and demonetize this type of content overnight. Third, as more and more people do this, the novelty is going to wear off. And finally, audiences might eventually push back against content that just feels too artificial or soulless.
So, after all that, where does this leave us? What does this trend of, profitable weirdness tell us about the future of content and creativity in the age of AI? Let's try to wrap this all up with the key insight. And this really gets to the heart of it all. In an infinitely crowded attention economy, being normal is just boring. Being polished is completely expected. But being weird, being surreal, that is a genuine competitive advantage. It's what makes people stop and watch and then share. The weirdness isn't some byproduct, it is the product.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought to chew on. As AI makes it easier and easier for literally anyone to create polished, professional-looking content, does that actually make that content less valuable? I mean, in a world where perfection can be automated, maybe the truly human, the truly valuable skill is just the ability to come up with the absolute weirdest, most unexpected idea. What do you think?